This is the voice of Killer Cross. Right about now. We're about to take it to the max.
This is the pretty badass Kelly Klein telling you to turn it to 11 and take it to the max.
Hey everybody, it's the interview queen Alicia Atute here, and you are currently listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast. It's time to take it to the max.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Madhouse.
Charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy. Welcome to the Madhouse.
Welcome back to another edition of Max Wrestling in the Hot Seat. I am your host, Mike Larkin, the first ever Triple Crown Max Wrestling Champion, former Knowledge Champion, former Promo Champion, and the current Mr. Iron Bank 2020. And joining me today for another edition of In the Hot Seat is the new Promo Champion, ending Travis the Walker Anderson's reign of 102 days as Promo Champion, none other than Miss Nicola McDonald, a.k.a. the Demoness. First and foremost, Nicola, congratulations, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello, mortals. Thank you so much for having us, Mr. Larkin.
You are very welcome, Demoness. I gotta say, from your rise from the Promo Climax to where you are now, we're gonna get all into that in this show, but I gotta ask you, how does it feel be Promo Champion, but not just Promo Champion, the first ever female Promo Champion? I mean, in Max Wrestling's history, we've seen women like Roxy Toxic cut great promos, Courtney Broughton. I mean, from the original days of Max, from the shows, and from old school trivia, from old school promos on the show. But I mean, this is the first time we officially have a female promo champion. How does it feel, and how does it feel overall to be the promo champion?
It is an amazing feeling, mortal. We knew we'd get there one day, but we didn't think we would get there as we have now. We did not for 1 second think that we could not, well, that we'd beat Travis, but we did. But it is a very amazing, overwhelming feeling because we did this for all the females that have ever walked into Max. So it is very overwhelming, to say the least.
I think it's great because I think with Max Wrestling, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I look at it like this. So, I mean, when you look at the Knowledge Championship, my name is synonymous with that, as well as Kenny and the Phoenix, and now Moses Marquez, who we'll get into in a little bit in the show. But it's like, it kind of gets boring to see some of the same people on the knowledge front. I mean, with the promo title, we've had Amir, we've had Butcher, we've had me, we've had Travis, and now you. So it's great to just see everybody's rise. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was one that, would make fun of Travis and joke with him. But at the end of the day, he's still my buddy. I think one of my favorite things was watching him grow from his start in the King of the Mic to bouts against Courtney and Amir, trying to get into that promo slam matchup, and then seeing what he did in the Climax, and then the Maxis and Moses Marquez in January at Podcast Promo Rumble 5. I think what's great is with these promos, we get to see people evolve and grow, and you are a testament to that. I mean, from the Promo Climax too, you were probably one of the biggest favorites going into that. I mean, myself, you and Robert Davis were all neck and neck in the Promo Climax. I think, yes. So to start to see from that to where you are now is absolutely amazing, which brings me into going into the Promo Climax. Now, what's amazing is this also goes back to Travis and just, again, bringing in people, and this is why I appreciate Travis for all the hard work that he does. He brought in Zach Herring, and he didn't have to tell y'all how pretty he is. So going into the Promo Climax too, I was the one who said, do this, it's fun, and I brought you into that, and we kind of incorporated a little dark elements about yourself and what you're into, and really just turned up your overall character, turned the volumes up, taking it up a notch. So I got to ask you, you officially started the Promo Climax too against the old little bitty pretty one that is Zach Herring. So I got to ask you, going into Promo Climax, how are you feeling, and knowing that you were the start of the Promo Climax too with Zach Herring?
I was very nervous at first, as you know, because when we were talking about it behind the scenes, about me creating this demon character and everything, I kind of didn't know what to expect. I honestly did not think I'd get past that, Karen, if I'm being honest, because I didn't know exactly how it was going to work out. And obviously, it's been said before, and I've said it as well, my first promo was very much scripted, but it was because I'd messed up the first video, as you know. I said the wrong thing and then I redid it, but I wrote it down exactly the same words. And obviously, in that video, you can tell that I was nervous. I was a little bit, what am I doing? Am I doing this right? So I was doubting myself, but obviously, Zach was new as well. So he must have had the same kind of thing in his mind as well, which is what we don't know each other. No one knew where I was coming from. So it was a very nerve wracking, but I think I actually, when I won that, I think I sent you and Dazzy a message going, really? Or the word, no way. Because I was like, what? But so, yeah, that was where that came from. But I was very nervous. And, you know, I'd put myself out of the box. This was not something that I'd normally do. And then that happened. So, yeah.
I gotta say this. I mean, with him, I think a lot of people with Zach, the arrogance and just, I mean, he only did like a minute and a half promos, which was, here's the thing. I didn't have a problem with it, but I think a lot of people that voted wanted something longer. But here's the thing. Whether you're doing interviews or whatever in life, you make the most out of the time and the minutes and the overall moments. So I think he did with just being cocky and I don't need to tell y'all how pretty I am, you troglodytes. I got beaten so badly. My opponent was adequate. But I mean, it's something like that.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's
I miss
something.
that dude. I miss that dude so much. I really do.
It's one of those things, Nicola, where it's just like, okay, but he can evoke an emotion out of you, and I think that's what one of the purposes was of seeing Zach in there, and he was great at the character and really who he was. It's just an extension of who he is. That's why I said it's all about bringing the character up a few notches. Turn the volume up on yourself. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people have that same feeling because I even said when I was going to the inaugural promo climax, I was nervous because, to be honest with you, I wasn't an RWT yet. I don't know these people. Like I'm cutting a promo on Teddy P, who I love to death. And I mean, the promo climax, too, I knew what I was doing because of his rapper background, and we could tie in and show the continuity from our first bout. But I'm just like, everybody hated Teddy P for no reason, but because he's such a great heel. He's so great at what he does. But, like, again, I don't know these people. So it's kind of like hard to cut on somebody that you really don't know. So I understand your mindset going into it. But, yes, going back to what you were saying about messaging Daz and I, yeah, you were like, no way, did I really win? I'm like, yeah, you won. Congratulations. So, I mean, you started in the like you started with your outerwear with like the dress kind of feel. You had the face paint on. Really not into the darkness yet, because if I remember correctly, you filmed that in the daytime. And I mean, you just kind of sat there and then boom, kind of gave the fatal warning. But then as we get further on, I mean, the Robert Davis bout, the first one, Robert Davis will be a focal point of this conversation. But the first bout with Robert Davis was absolutely amazing, and it could have gone either way. It was very close. We almost had a draw between you two in the first go around.
Yeah, we did, and that's why because I loved the whole fact that it was called Into the Shadows. That that was cool. And then obviously I think, like I said about my live video, that was when she came to life. So after that video, I was like, right, how can I top this? How can I make this a bit bigger or whatever? So with Robert, again, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know much about him. I hadn't seen many of his I think I'd seen one. That was about it. So, and I think that was him as a scat man.
A
So I
stat
didn't actually.
man, not a scat man.
Yeah.
Robert
Sorry.
Davis. Do. Got it. Go ahead.
I'm in so much trouble. But no, yeah, I saw him as that, and I wasn't aware that he was actually a demon already, like in this already. So when we did that, I kind of like went into the woods and thought, you know what, how can I be more scary? How can I? And obviously, that was when my little demon came into it, first sight of Demon R. So he actually helped me with that video. My son did. So yeah, it was very cool to do that. And plus, when I saw his, I actually froze and was like, shit. But when I've said this from then, and even I'll say it now, me and him drew. There was no winner in that one. We both drew because the percentage was so close. We was both as good as each other. So yeah, that's kind of and I think he thinks the same thing. And I think I said it on live video as well, that there was no winner there. It was just two winners. So yeah.
I would have to agree. I think you two had great chemistry with one another. I know Robert Davis we've spoke about this, was very excited to see someone with like more of a darker edge and character in there because it's someone that he could feed off of. So long as I've known Robert Davis, he was a standout in the inaugural promo climax. Probably one of the most creative dudes ever. Whether he's just being the straight shooter, whether he's being wearing the putting the crazy eyes in, whether he's being the stat man or whatever kind of portrayal he can have of himself. I think he's probably one of the greatest characters ever, and we'll get to more of your bouts with Robert. But I think you two had some of the best chemistry in all of your bouts that you guys have had. And I mean, like, I was blown away by watching you and Robert Davis. And I mean, also in the promo climax, unfortunately, we did not get to see Moni Lynn, but we'll get to that in a second because I believe right after Robert Davis, you had yours truly, and you and I'm going to say this right now because pulling a little behind the scenes here. I said, "Welcome to the promo climax," but I said, "You do realize since we're in the same block, you and I are going to have to face each other." And you were kind of like, "No," but I'm like, "It's okay. Let's work on this and let's have a badass promo." Which I think I'm going to say this right now. We said it when we were on Beyond the Mic with Amir that was going to be the bout of the week, and you and I were going to tear it down. And I fully enjoyed that because, I mean,
Yep.
obviously, as you can tell, I'm very bubbly. I'm very vibrant. I like to have fun and make fun of people and do impressions and just tell everybody why they suck. Which, by the way, people, I'm not the best heel in the business as someone who monikers himself like that, the Butcher. And I'm going to say that because Butcher does have the gift of gab and he can talk and he can convey that emotion in you as well. But I was kind of like a heel in a way, and the reason why I say that is it's like everybody is like cutting on each other, but I'm just like, you know what? Fuck is I'm gonna make fun of each and every one of you and just go balls to the wall. But when you look at it, knowing who I am as a person and knowing the character, you laugh. It's funny, and you're like, I can't hate that. He's funny. It sounds like me, but in a way, I'm kind of being a dick because it's like I'm making fun of you, and you should hate me. Which is why I love when Moni Lynn, when she did the follow promo, she gave me the finger. I want you to give me the finger. That's the point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
going into this, I had to make fun of the fact that obviously Amir is a sick puppy and is the president. It is the president of the Demoness fan club and loves your work. I mean, that really did show with your dark persona when he had to leave a meeting. For God's sake, I got to go watch the Demoness do a live, which one of the best lives ever with the glowing light, what have you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But
That's when she came to life.
yes, right
When
after the
she
Saturn thing.
really come to life was then because of the fact that I said I'd scripted the first one, and me and you again behind the scenes were talking about, and you was obviously saying, look, to make your character a bit more bigger, go live. And I think that I just went, all right, you know what, we'll see what I can do. So I think I sat in a room, had my red candles and everything, did all my face up and everything, and was like, all right, let's just roll with this, see what happens. And then that's the night she came to life fully. That was when I kind of embraced her and was like, you know what, this is her. So that is when, true story, that is when she came to life, was then that
Well,
live video.
I think coming to live after that, we mentioned Robert Davis and we mentioned how you've grown since Zach, but then you get to me, the promo champ in the promo climax. All right, and I've said this. It's one of my favorite bouts just because I get to go to a dark side. We told the story and kind of you knew about my quote unquote dark past, if you will. So I mean, I got to don the face paint as you guys call me, Dark Lark. So I mean, it was very cool to just tap into that little darkness kind of thing. And we got to see my mom open the door and just walking through the house, a very dark, you know, eminous type of feel to it, which again, that was the start of including my mom in promos. But I mean, it's one of those things where I really enjoyed. That's another one because not only I could say that we've touched upon it. You said it. I'm the one to defeat you, but it's just like it's cool because I looked at it like this, and I'm going against one of my girls. I'm going against one of my friends here. So I think what we did together, I really enjoyed, and that's really going to be one of my favorite bouts. And yes, I think there's got to be a part two somewhere down the line. As of right now, I'm not on Max. I'm doing this and the hot seat. I'm on the main show, but I got to say, I think down the line, you and I have to do a part two.
We do. I am going to say one thing because it's been mentioned, like you've mentioned it, Travis mentioned it. When I filmed our promo, me versus you, I was sick. I had the flu, and I still got myself into that bath and did it fully clothed, you know. And I was flued up to the eyeballs, but I thought, no, I've got to do this because I didn't want to let you down. I didn't, and that is one thing. I mean, you know this about me, Mike, and a few others do as well. The idea of letting people down is something I cannot do. So sick or not, I was going to do that promo, and I will say it was one of my favourite ones to do. And when I was asked on my Q&A, I did mention that. And yes, you are the only one who destroyed us. But it's all good. I still love you. So yeah,
Thank,
obviously you're one of my best friends. So yeah.
thank you. Well, I mean, you kind of took a little page out of the late 1800s, early 1900s. I mean, you threatened to axe me, man. You threatened to
I
Lizzie
did.
Borden. You threatened to Lizzie Borden my ass is what you did. Friggin' Lizzie Borden took an axe. No, the Demoness took an axe, for God's sake. Gave me 40 whacks. You know what I'm saying? And for those well, for those that don't know, Lizzie Borden is and if you look at the history of crimes and overall things, she's the one that killed her parents, with the axe and the whole nine. So I mean, that's why I laughed. That's the first thing that came to mind, I guess, just history class and Lizzie Borden. So yeah, you Lizzie Borden, you were threatening to Lizzie Borden my ass, Nicola.
I did. All I remember, I think behind the scenes, I said something to you, didn't I? About I think I'm going to use an axe. How do you feel about that? And you were just like, bring it. It's fine. Do it. I love it. So it was like, okay, fine. So yeah, I rolled with that for that and kind of like made out that I was outside your house. That was quite good, actually, being outside banging on the windows. And it just worked really well. I loved that promo, especially my joke in that one when I said, you wanted me in the light. Here I am.
That was great. We told you, mortal, you wanted to come into the light, and so we did. And I'm just like, that's awesome. But yes, so we go
Uh,
from you and I, and okay, here's the thing. Daniel Crimmins, who dropped that early, and I'll be honest with you, the promo climax, which we're not doing another one, there was a lot of drama that went into that. I'll be honest with you, it was a clusterfuck. It was a clusterfuck of a tournament, but the bright side of it is we all tried to make the most out of what was going on. So Daniel Crimmins had the bout with Robert Davis, his second bout, and he then dropped out. And Daniel Crimmins, who is now a judge in the promo championship bouts, along with Daz. Daniel Crimmins wasn't even in the thing, and you still cut a hell of a promo on him.
I think I cursed him, but yeah, I remember like when people were saying like you could still cut a promo even if that other person wasn't in it. I was like, I think that was the night as well that my neighbours saw me run around as a demon and they got very freaked out. So, um, yeah, that was an amazing night. But no, I shot it in the end and I just kind of, yeah, rolled with it and just thought I'm going to curse him because I was trying to think of other things. Then obviously, because there's a lot to run with demons. So it was kind of like, what can I do to him? So I thought, all right, I'll curse him. So that's what I did. I cursed his ass. So yeah, I don't think he's cursed now, but he might still be. We'll see. We'll see.
And then you get resurrected by the one and only Myers. You're in the tub. Then we get to, we get to the graveyard, and I think the whole thing with Moni Lynn was great. That's the other thing too. I got to mention Karis and Wraith, your lovely children, a little demon eye there. I think it's cool because it's great incorporating, like I said, my mom. It's great incorporating your family, and you get to incorporate a lot of different elements because everybody's is just like, oh, I'm going to do this, and they're looking straight at you in the whole nine. But I think to incorporate a lot of elements and tell a story and just pretty much go, I'm going to say it to put it bluntly, to go batshit crazy and just go buck wild is a lot of fun going into these promos. So I just got to say to you, just, I love the Moni one as well, just because, I mean, again, unfortunately, we haven't gotten a first female bout yet for the promo championship, and we may. I mean, we'll discuss the promo league in a sec, but it's like, yo, that was badass.
Thank you. Yeah, obviously we did the Myers resurrecting me or whatever, and when we did the graveyard stuff, it is true what I said before that I'd watched Deacon Platt go into the graveyard, and then I think 24 hours or maybe 48 hours later, there I was in a graveyard with my son. Obviously, my daughter was there as well, but she decided that she was not stepping foot in there because she had a bad feeling, and obviously, you know what kids are like with vibes and stuff. So I was like, all right, fine, you stay with my mum. So them two were at like the end of the graveyard, and me and Rafe had gone right up and were hiding because obviously it was abandoned. So we were like, okay, so we are actually just walking around trying to find one that was out of the way. But it was very fun to shoot that. And then we went off to a car park, and that's the part where you see Karis and Rafe, and you've
Mhm.
got all the background noise because we was very close to people by this point. But yeah, we wanted to step it up. So that was a fun one to do. Actually, that's another one of my favourite ones. I got quite a few, but that one's another one that I had fun. We all had fun doing, really, because I was a little nerve-wracked going in there because of the word abandon. Yeah, no, it was fun to do, and I said I'd love to obviously do something along the lines of graveyards again, but yeah, that was a lot of fun for me to do, and I think I changed my face because I change my face all the time, don't I? There's never one face; it's always based on the person I'm going against. So yeah, Moni Lynn got the clown face kind of thing.
Well, I gotta say this: whether you're sick and just overall giving it your all, or friggin' scaring your neighbors, and which I gotta
I'm
say,
planning on doing that again soon, Mike. I really am. I've said that they have been a bit awkward recently, so me and my mini demons have decided that if they carry on like drilling at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, that we're going to demon our faces up and just stare at them from the bedroom windows, just to creep them out for
well,
the fun of it.
I like to see you just walk in public around the people with all that paint on and just be in character. That would be great. I'm just saying because I'm gonna be curious to see how people would act. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you because it's kind of like I look at it like this: like when wrestlers do signings, if they act like jerks, they're just being their character. Some of them actually sign and do stuff in character. Kayfabe is not
Yeah.
dead, damn it. So I'd love to see a little Demoness with the demon eye just walking around in public just to see
All right.
everybody's faces.
I'll make you a deal. Once this lockdown stuff is over and done with, and we're all allowed back outside, I will demoness me and Rafe up, and we will do a live video of us walking around as the demons and see how the reaction is. How's that sound?
All right, bet I'm there for that. Excellent.
Yeah.
But so you go from Moniland, and then your last bout was Ted P. De Niro, which I'll be honest with you, Teddy, and I love Teddy to death. Teddy was going through some stuff, and like I said, a lot of us, Teddy, we love you, and we all like to help you out. We
He's
do.
my spawn. He's my spawn, Teddy P. He's a
He-
demoness's spawn.
the Demoness is spawn, but you two had a
Yeah.
great encounter. So and also you were on the fire too. I thought that was very cool.
Thank you. I mean, I knew, like you knew as well behind the scenes. I was really did not know what to do as far as Teddy went because he was going through all of that stuff. And the last thing he needed was some crazy demon threatening to destroy him, all of that. So I kind of, with him, turned it a little bit. So it was evil, but it wasn't too bad. But I'm glad you like the fire. Even though I had Rafe, non-demon, lighting a match, and then the next thing you see is this big ass fire. But it took me 2 hours to light that fire. So when Rafe did that, it didn't actually light. 2 hours later, it did. So it took a while, but it was fun. And yeah, love Teddy P to pieces.
Come on, baby, light my fire. But it took you a while, but you you got there. But I
I
mean,
did.
I love Teddy to do. I love pieces to death as well. I'm like, here's the thing. I mean, as my fellow judge likes to say, don't be complacent. Ah, so as my fellow judge likes to talk about complacency, he's very valid in his point with what I mean by that is you changed it up. I mean, it might be the same thing, but we changed it up. And I say this to Travis because he's not a one-trick pony. But then again, and I love the Butcher to death. But if you ask the Butcher, everybody's pretty much a one-trick pony. I see it.
Yeah.
If you don't see the comments, one-trick pony, one-trick pony. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I'll say this about the Butcher, and people say what they say about the Butcher. But I've known that man for 3 years, and there's a lot of goodness though in his black heart, and he does mean well. I say goodness in the black heart, and we'll talk about the black hearts in a little bit because that's a nice segue. But one thing about Butcher is I think when we go into the promo league, we're both going to have inputs and say we may agree to disagree on some things, but when it comes to determining a clear cut winner in these promo league bouts, we're all about it. We're going to see eye to eye on some things. We might not, but it is what it is. So I look forward to seeing what the promo league is, which we'll get into in a second. But I got to say, you get to Robert Davis at Podcast Promo Rumble 5. It's the second one, which again both were absolutely blew me away. And I said this, I mean, you had Travis and Moses on the card, which they did their thing, and we saw the debut of El Jefe, which we'll talk about El Jefe in a little bit as well. But yo, the second one delivered going into Podcast Promo Rumble 5.
Yeah, I know. That was fun as well because we both knew what by this point, obviously I'd seen more of his promos, he's seen more, and we'd started to talk as well about different things that we could like do towards the promos and stuff. And then obviously, yeah, we both just went to hell on each other. We basically made sure that we destroyed each other. That was the whole point, and that was obviously what was coming across from both of us. So that was fun because even you kept going, well, if you don't kill each other first, and we were both like, no, we're going to kill each other. It's fine. Don't worry about it, kind of thing. So we kind of were making fun of it, but at the same time, we wanted to tell a good story. And obviously, that story is carried on now, but we'll get to that in a little while. But yeah.
So, and also on this same card, we had the debut of Coriel Coulter, aka Cypher, taking on Teddy P, which Corey won. And then you're facing him on the anniversary show, which again, both great promos. I think just the whole thing that you did, kind of like, you're walking, you're stretching, you're going from this. There's a lot of great different angles in there, with your darkness accentuated. And then you see Corey going to church, which I gotta say, take him to church, not church. I'm talking about church. So he's so as someone who is very spiritual and all that. I dug it because of what he was trying to interpret and what he did, and I thought he changed it up and he did it very well. I think you two had some great chemistry, and we'll talk about him in the promo league in a little bit. But for you, this is someone who's new to you. You have not faced Corey. He's a relatively newcomer as well. He's only had 2 bouts. This was his second bout going against you, and what a task he had. But for you, what was it like, going against someone who you did not know, someone who's just coming in, and what was your thoughts on the overall bout between yourself and Corey, aka Shaq?
I loved mine and Corey's bout because he went outside the box big time. He kind of we made sure that it was dark versus evil, or no, sorry, dark versus the light. So obviously you got me on one side, him on the other. But I loved the fact that he actually went to a church. He went straight outside the box and he was like, okay, I didn't actually know he was gonna do this because we both kind of kept what we were doing to ourselves because I couldn't make up my mind what exactly I was gonna go with. And then he started obviously giving me new nicknames. So I was called the Black Queen, and he called me Scorpion a few times, and I think he still does now sometimes as well. So it's quite amusing, all these nicknames the Demoness now has. But yeah, I loved what he did. I loved how he was really trying to convince her to go to the light, and she was like, "I'm not having none of it." Basically, I'm going to take. So it was I loved that whole concept of it. I
Me
did. He worked really, really hard. And obviously, I was a bit like, okay, I don't know what he's capable of. I don't know what he's going to do. So I had to kind of think harder with him. Like, if anyone's new, you do have to think a little bit harder because you don't know what they're going to do. Same with when I came in, no one knew that I was going to be a demon. They just had this picture of me that was, oh, well, she's going to come in and that happens. But yeah, so with Corey, I think it was a little bit harder. He was a bit of a challenge for me, but I love him to pieces, and yeah, it was awesome.
Well, I gotta say this. I mean, you're the Scorpion. I mean, you're the whole nine. I mean, I could start singing Tyrese and shorten the Scorpion to I'm a Scorpio. She had no limit to where she go. Oh yeah, these are the signs of lovemaking. Are you that zodiac freak I've been looking for? Girl, you're sending me. Anyway, digress. Pop culture nerdiness coming out. So we we had the Demoness. I come to caress, and I will take your soul and put you in a hole. Yeah. So so we have you going into Cypher, which you winning. Which I got to say, as far as Corey goes, I'm really looking forward to seeing what I'm gonna get to the promo league. But then here's the continuity that I loved, and I mentioned that word a lot. So Travis the Walker Anderson and you have been wanting this bout since November. You wanted that to be the final of the promo climax too. You're finally here, and we'll discuss the videos in a second. But it's just like with Travis. And here's the thing: what was funny about the bout is he messaged me afterwards. He goes, "See, I didn't curse in that promo, not one." And I said, "Here's the thing,"
Yeah.
and I and I love Travis, but I think for me, and the reason why I said it's like Tourette syndrome, it's like that scene from Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. It's because from what he's done, and I really love the evolution of Travis, and I really do. I love his promos. I don't think they're boring. I can invest in them. You know what I'm saying? The Star Wars thing against me, I will rise. It tells the perfect story because I've beaten him 3 times from King of the Mic, Promo Slam to Promo Series, and then he beats me at the Maxis. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't make sense if I keep winning because that's going to get boring. You know what I'm saying? So it made sense from the storyline perspective. and the storytelling perspective, if you will. So Travis, if you look at the promo slam, he's like, well, it's about fucking time. We're here at promo slam about to win the title. These motherfuckers. And he's getting that, that bowed upness, as he says. And, he just goes buck wild. And I'm like, here's the thing. It kind of reminds me of those old cheap heat things like the franchise Shane Douglas with every promo had to be a curse. It's kind of like, I'll be honest with you, it's like what you see on AEW. What I mean by that is you have to get the zingers. You start out the promo, and then if you say fuck, it's like a zinger, like, oh man, he got him, he went there, oh my god. Not just start off by saying, motherfucker, I'm coming for your ass, you son of a bitch. It's a different that, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm not making fun of him, I'm just trying to do like the compare and contrast.
Yeah, because obviously he did that other video, didn't he, with him and Corey,
Mm-hmm.
about me going into the light, and then obviously that's when me and obviously I call him brother now, which would be Robert Davis, decided to do a comeback at them both. And I don't think they were impressed with it. They said they were fine with it, but I know that it hit a nerve with Travis, so it was like, okay, fine. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. I mean, the Demoness doesn't swear. I don't know, you know this, but I don't ever swear at anyone. I just threaten. So I don't know what's worse, me not swearing or me threatening to
Well,
chop your head off.
it's kind of like you kind of, with the way you deliver it, we were talking about, it's like poetry. It's like their poetic demise is what you're doing. You're poetic demising them.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it started with the promo in the car where he's just like, I'll see you at Promo Mania, bitch. And that kind of took a thing out of its own right, because it's like, well, that's the thing, you hear a lot of bitches in promos, like, I'll see you, bitch, you son of a bitch, and the whole nine thing.
Yeah.
But I think with you, it's just like, did he just call her a bitch? And I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's just coming like, because obviously the Demoness and your mortal vessel, so to speak, you mortal one, you're a female still at the end of the day. So it's like,
There was a lot of reaction from that. A lot of people were like, and I will admit, Travis is right. He did send me the video first to say, look, this is going to happen. Are you all right with it? And I was like, yep, okay, it's not a problem. But then when I heard it and then started hearing the reactions of like you, Robert, Amir, a few people, I was like, wow, okay, then fair enough. But yeah, like you said, if it's kind of like the principle, isn't it? Because I'm a female. Oh well, that's a bit harsh calling her that, but it is what it is. But it didn't. I love Travis to pieces, so I know it weren't meant badly. But yeah, he said it to a demon, so that was a bad move. That was his first mistake. Don't ever call a demon a bitch.
And I got, like you say, you love him to pieces. That dude's one of my good friends, one of my best friends. I mean, we live 6 hours away from each other here in the Carolinas. But I think what's great about him is too, I think the bowed upness really came into fruition because when Andre Corbeil put out that video coming from me and sparring, and he's in the Legacy Wrestling ring doing a sharpshooter, like the Hart family, like the legit Hart family. It kind of just set him off, which, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to ask you, because we haven't necessarily talked about this, because he was involved around that time too. What did you think about the inclusion of Andre Corbeil in promo series?
I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty cool because it was someone new coming in, and obviously him and Travis. I mean, it was you versus him first, weren't it?
Well,
And
we
then
never
you
got
won.
to the bout because he wanted it, but
Oh,
we got to it because Travis beat him.
that's it. Yeah, Travis beat him, but I did like him being included. I actually think I said if he ever challenged me, I'd say no, but I've changed my mind. One day, if he ever did come into it, then I'd definitely give it a try. If you know what I mean by that. I probably wouldn't win, but I'd give it a good try.
Well, I think the thing about Andre, who I also love to death, I mean, he's a guy that was, I mean, he's been around Bill Apter. I mean, he's, the Pro Wrestling Mags, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. He's been around so many great people in the industry, and he's involved within the industry. He's done commentary for a lot of Canadian independent wrestling companies. He had gotten injured at a CWE, Canada Wrestling Elite, or Canadian Wrestling Elite, one of those promotions in Canada. He took a spill, and he was in bed, so he cut that entire promo from bed. Mind you, he was a day late, but I got to say, from someone who was bedridden, that wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't, and you could tell that he was in pain as well to look at. Like even he was in his eyes, but you could tell that he looked like he was happy. Like that whole promo was awesome, but you could tell that he was in a lot of pain. So I didn't. I think I had to actually ask you after and say, has he hurt himself? And you were like, yeah. I was like, oh sugar. So I hope he's all good now, though.
Ah, he's
A lot.
good. You know what
Yeah.
the thing about Andre is like I was so happy because he did 2016 in the hot seat, and then I even said to Travis, and I said, dude, if he's got you this boat up, just challenge him. And and I feel it's kind of like a warm up, you know, if he wants to go
Yeah.
against me or what have you. And I got to say with Travis, I got to say the light and the whole thing. You better not talk about my balls. And that's the thing. Like they both kind of gave it. It was a great dynamic of Travis's passion, and Andre just being the Canadian destroyer. And I'm not. Which here's the
Yep.
thing about the Canadian destroyer. Doug Chevalier, I believe, was the original guy that did it before Petey Williams, and he's also a wrestler. So that's where he kind of got the name from with the move, is because there was a legendary Canadian wrestler, the Canadian destroyer, Doug Chevalier.
Yep.
There's a little stats and facts for everybody, a little
Thank
history.
you.
You're welcome. But no, I think that's why I liked having him involved and having him and Travis do their thing, which I enjoy. Like I said, I mean, we all pick on Travis, and here's the thing: the only reason why I do it is also because I'll be honest, I got family in the Carolinas, so I can do the accent. It kind of just comes naturally, and because
Mhm.
I'm around that for all my life, so I mean, it's kind of cool to do that. And like I said, all right, here's the thing: how he's so. I'm gonna talk about Travis before we get into the bout. When you have a sign, you go to AEW promoting your bout, you know,
I know, I know where you're going with this. It's the sign. Go on.
Real Piers Walker, and you have MCL sucks, and I mean that's dedication, which I appreciated that
Mhm.
aspect to it. So I mean, yeah, now he wins the promo title from me. He goes against Moses, which I enjoyed both bouts. Pretty much calling Moses a joke, and then Moses is like El Jefe doing his thing, which we'll get to El Jefe because both of those guys, the third and final bout in their chapter. Then we get to promo Mania, which was not too long ago, and you go against Travis the Walker Anderson for the promo championship. A little bit of different side of Travis, trying to go into the darkness, but not necessarily talking about trying to get you into the light, incorporating his family, his cutie little daughter, and his lovely wife. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the different approach that he went, and I even told Travis this. I said, dude, it could go either way because both of you did
Yeah.
your thing, and I enjoyed it. But you, all
Mhm.
right. The continuity of the acts for me, I thought was great, just because we didn't get to chop your head off, and I like the torture chamber. It adds another element of because what's interesting about your promos is you have the ability to like, oh, what's the different way that I could kill or destroy somebody this week or this time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think I like the element of what you were doing with the shed.
Thank you. We kind of were trying. Obviously, as you know, everyone in the world's on lockdown right now. But obviously, we was on the debating at the time when this was recorded. So we kind of decided empty the shed and just turn it into something different. So we, as you saw in the promo, we, had blood hands coming down the walls, axes hanging everywhere, forks, pitchforks, all kinds of different things, a hammer, something like that. And then when obviously we recorded it, we had to make sure it was dark and we had the right light setting in there. But with that, I wanted to show a different side of her because obviously there's many sides of her. She's many faces, but this side I wanted because there's more to her or more to come. There's more darkness than anything else. So I kind of went a bit darker with her with this time. So I was kind of like, don't even think. I mean, I was talking to the wall as well. So who that was actually talking to the collector, aka Robert, the brother. Um, he was the voice that she was hearing in her head. So she was kind of like just going with that. But the fun part about that was even Rafe being in it because there's a part in my promo that he was meant to kick the door because he comes in saying he's found Travis and he was meant to kick the door, but my dog was in the background, so we cut that bit out. I was like, but yeah, it is like you said, you have to think of different concepts, and I have obviously, like I said before, it when I'm planning mine promos, obviously it's not just a 5 minute or 4 minute video in front of a camera. It's well, what can I do? Where can I go darkness? How can so with that shed, I think that was one of my creepiest I've ever done. And even after, I think I sat there in a makeup going, "Oh my days, what have I just done?" But I loved the whole concept of it. It was really, really. I was impressed with what I did with that one, and I was very evil. I got to admit that there was an evil, very bad evil to her. So yeah, and obviously almost headbutting as when I come up the wall and there was the axe and
Yeah.
everything hanging off the walls and everything. I actually almost knocked it all off onto myself. So I did have to be really, really, really careful what I was doing in there. But no, it was fun to shoot as well. So yeah, I loved that torture chamber. It's still there. It's not moved. The shed's still there. So yeah, but that was another fun one to do for me and take her to a darker place. And hopefully I'm going to keep. I have other props and other versions of her still to come. So keep watching.
I gotta say, you.
Basically,
Oh, you're welcome. No, you both delivered, and
yeah.
say when it comes to you and when it comes to Travis, again, I like the direction he was going, and you by Robert Davis by your side. That is just going to be amazing just to see where how we extend with that. There, I even joke with you. There was some breaking news at the beginning of your promo, which was
Oh
awesome.
yeah. How did we forget? You were in my promo.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were my beginning. So you kind of like newsflash, and I
I just
loved every part of that.
I had to make it known. I had to I had to let everybody know.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, Daniel Crimmins has kind of appointed me as like you and Robert's Paul Heyman, which I'm like, I'll take that. I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm cool with
well,
that.
we got the Black Hearts, and the Black Hearts are rising. Everybody dies, the whole nine. You and Robert
Uh-huh.
Davis. Now, I just got to say this because we mentioned Travis. I want to see you and Travis go head to head again for the promo championship.
Yep.
I think you two will deliver in the rematch. We'll get to promo league in a second, but I want to ask you about the overall promo mania event. Done 5K on Facebook. I had a lot of fun with that. Moses retains and a draw against the Phoenix for the Knowledge Championship, which we'll talk about Trivia Takeover as well. We got to see Butcher and Amir bury the hatchet. We got to see you kick ass with Travis, and we got to see myself against the Shape. But before we get to the entire event, what did you think about Butcher and Amir? Pretty much, the hatchet. I mean, they pretty much buried the hatchet. Everybody's on good terms. What did you think about the face-off, the head-to-head, the talk, if you will?
I thought it was good and it was interesting to watch because obviously there was all that like heat before, which was like you said a fuck fest. So yeah, it was a bit like it was nice to see like everything buried, all the hatches buried, everything's under the bridge, all of that stuff, and the fact that now two groups have come as one. I think that's actually really good. To be fair, and the fact that then there's no arguments, there's no someone's having a dick. So yeah, it's kind of I think it's a good thing, and it was interesting to watch them both, and it's really awesome that they're both back together as friends or brothers or yeah. So it's all good.
Now that also brings me to the follow-up question because
Um,
as of right now, the trivia takeover bout is you versus Amir for the
yep.
promo championship. So next week we're gonna have, as we're recording this next week, this will be out next week as well. So yeah, pre-recorded. So the first match, and as myself and Butcher judges, we get to decide. It's Amir versus Travis. Amir is in the first position. Travis is in the third. So if Amir wins, Travis drops to fourth place, and Amir remains the number one contender. But if Travis wins, both would be joint second place, and Moses Marquez would be the number one contender for the promo championship. So Moses could have a chance to do what I did and become Big Money Mo belts, Moses two belts, if you will. So I got to ask you first and foremost before we get to El Jefe and Taco.com. Before we get to him, and our current knowledge champion. Before we get to Moses, Amir versus Travis. What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be exciting because obviously Amir's come back, so he's like I call him the original, like I call you an original as well as Phoenix, as well as Butcher, as well as there's endless originals. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does because obviously I'm curious because there is a possibility it could be me versus him, and I'm actually excited at that whole concept because obviously he's her biggest fan, so you know, I don't know what the outcome of that would be, but as far as him and Travis goes, I'm looking forward to seeing what Travis does. I'm looking forward to seeing what they both do. I think it's going to be quite exciting because none of us really know, how it's going to turn out yet. So I'm excited. I know they're both going to bring it though, no matter what. So yeah.
Me too. I mean, when you look at what they did before Promo Slam, that was kind of just like Amir, like, yeah, all right, here I am. He didn't really, he was just like, okay, I'll do this against Travis, man. But now he's back. He's back to being who he
Yep.
is. It's going to be great. Um, As far as Travis, like I said, he's going to bring it. We got to see a little bit more come out and get to his dark side as well. He's got the mask. He's got the whole thing. He's got the overall presentation. They both do, which brings
Yeah,
me,
cool.
which brings me to the promo league. All right. So as of right now,
Yep.
it is you and Amir for Trivia Takeover. The participants are Amir, Corey, Travis. Okay, what I got to ask you about the Phoenix, who, all right, and I'm doing a lot of one-offs, so I said to Phoenix even in the last in the hot seat, Phoenix, do you really want to take our feud into the promo realm? And I'll be honest with you, I think I would love to go against Phoenix because I'm doing a lot of one-offs with this. So is Butcher, but for you, it's a perfect marketing strategy and a perfect title. I mean, as he's been known for years, the Demon of the Welsh Valleys against the Demoness. Hello.
Yeah, no, I heard him say that he'd like to, and obviously I'd like to as well, because if it's a demon from the valleys, then that's demon versus demon. So yeah, that sounds interesting to me. So I'm looking forward to that if that happens. I'd love to go against him though, because obviously he's an original, and I think I've maybe seen a couple of his promos. That's about it, but I will do some research and look them up anyway. But I'd love to go against him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does, because obviously right now it's obviously there's only me and Robert are the demons, but obviously he is. If he is too, then that makes it pretty sick, to be fair. So um, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. I'm
So
intrigued by him. There you go. I'm intrigued.
me too. We have Amir. We have Corey Coulter, who we mentioned again. I'd love to see a rematch between you two. We have Travis. We have a lot of people. One name I have to mention to you, Mike Jolly, the host of the Washington Wrestle Talk podcast, the heavy metal Jesus himself, the oddity. Mike, are you looking forward to going against Mike Jolly?
I am. He seems to be at the minute. He like I said earlier, he's been kind of like, I don't know, like a bad fawn. He keeps on appearing. He's like Demoness, Demoness, and I'm like, yes. But I'd like to go against him because he's an interesting character. You kind of don't know what you're going to get with him, and obviously he calls himself the Metal Jesus, don't he? So yeah, maybe he'd probably, if he went again, it would be another person saying, "I'm going to take you into the light," which I think she's getting a little annoyed, as we saw on a live video the other day about being constantly said, "Let's take her to the light." It's not going to happen, people. Just so you know. I won't let. Well, it could do if I'm beaten, then I might be. But other than that, yeah, the light thing. I could see that happening with him. But on the other prospect, he seems to be a dark character as well. We've got a lot of dark characters now.
We do.
A lot of dark characters.
And we'll get to Moses in a second here, but there's another name that has been added. She has experience in the promo game. She has been in the
I
industry
know.
for plus, my goodness, she was in the industry for about 11, 12 years, started in 2009, wrestled Beth Phoenix on a 2009 edition of SmackDown, so she's been in there with the Hall of Famer. The former tag team partner of Miss April, who will go on to be AJ Lee, former WSU tag team champion, New York Wrestling Connection. She's wrestled all over. Brittany Savage is in the promo league.
I am really excited about that because one, there's another female. Yay! So it's not just me anymore. Because as I keep saying, I've been for a while a woman in a man's world. So it's been a bit it's quite amusing, but it's quite nice now because there's another female. So I'm like, yay! I'm actually excited about the whole thing. So that they did put a smile on my face when you sent that message saying, "Look, we've got another one." I was like, yes. So I'm excited because hopefully we might finally see if um two females versus each other, which was meant to be obviously last year, but whatever happened, Moni had to leave. So, and I respect that. Oh, and by the way, love you, Queen. I did that for us. I said that the other day as well. So yeah.
I know she'll appreciate that. I'll send this to her when it's out. But yo, I love Moni Lynn. I hope she gets involved. I hope to see a lot of people involved. But yeah, Brittany Savage. What's interesting about her is again, if you guys follow her career, she was started out as a babyface and then she became a heel. I mean, she was kind of like that girl next door type of deal with the face. But then when she became a heel, I mean, she just turned it up. She's had blonde hair. She's had brunette hair. She is one of those girls that is just like again very passionate, lovely human being, one of my good friends. So it's going to be fun to see what Brittany can do. I mean, I'm going to say this right now. for those who are not aware, she has actually wrestled a lot of people that you've seen on TV. For instance, she's wrestled Su Yung before she was the Undead.
Nice.
Yes. So if anybody is curious and wants to see some of Brittany's old matches and stuff, I will send you guys that footage because Britt, an absolute sweetheart. Good.
Me, please.
You please.
You
Okay.
send them to me.
I
Send
will
it to
send.
me.
I will send them to you. Absolutely. Get to study your future opponents. So, yes. And one other name I got to mention before. Actually, you know what? I'm bouncing around here. We're shooting the breeze here, Nikla. But I got to say this. One name who I'm curious because I know he's interested down the line. And Travis put out the invite on his live, and I showed it to him. Chef, I would love to see Chef come into the promo league. All I'm saying, baby, is that these motherfuckers, Queens my city, I rep my city. Hill Team 6 all David A, the motherfucker Billy, yeah. So I would love to see Chef come in and do his stuff because again, he's got that vibe about him. He's got that hip hop vibe. He's got that swag on 100,000 megawatts. I mean, yo, I'd like to see Chef put it in there, put it on me like Ja Rule. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, he's another one of my brothers who I absolutely adore. And he has backed me since I first came out as the Demoness, and he is like 100% backed me. So I'd love to see him come into it. I'd also love to go against him as well because of the fact that I think it'd be fun. I don't know what he'd bring, whether he'd be a dark character, funny, hitman, anything like that. I don't know. But all I know is that I'd love to go against him one day if it came to it. But yeah, I can't wait to see what he's going to do because that has actually made me go. And I actually sent him a message going, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, I might be in." And I was like, "Yes." So yeah, that kind of put a bit of a. I'd love to go against him, but yeah, I can't wait to see what he does. That's going to be exciting.
Oh, agreed. I love to see what Chef brings. 40 deuces, baby. All I'm saying, baby. You know what I'm saying? I can't fucks with that shit. You know, we can have a lot of fun with that Chef in the promo
Of
league.
course we can.
Oh my
I'm not
goodness.
doing the impression. I'm not doing an impression of him again, though.
Oh, well, he knows about your impression, and wow. I'll
I
talk.
know he does. Love you, chef. Didn't mean it.
so, another thing I had to mention is like I mentioned, if what the stipulation being like, if Amir wins, he's still number one contender, but if Travis wins, him and Amir will be joint second, and Moses would become the number one contender. So Moses Marquez, my Promo Mania 6 opponent, El Jefe versus the Demoness.
That could be cool. I'd like to see that because obviously his character has come since he was a crippler to El Jefe is awesome. And I'd actually be excited about that one because I'd have to really, really think hard about what I was going to do to terrorize him, basically. Because a part of me thinks, because obviously to me, he looks like a gangster, like a really old gangster. But if it happens, it happens. And I'm sure we will put on a great show. Guarantee it. The Demoness versus the El Jefe. Yeah, that's going to be fun if it does happen. So, yeah. It's
Now,
interesting as well.
oh yeah, and I think now I've mentioned this as well because I mean there's so many possibilities what we have in the promo league, and I talked about Butcher and I doing one-offs because that's pretty much the position we're in right now. So, there a potential possibly in the future for the Demoness versus the Butcher?
Never say never.
All right. Okay, because I know
Uh,
here's the thing about the Butcher. I think he's very interested and he's intrigued with what you're doing, so let's see where that goes. And besides that, we mentioned you and I possibly doing a part 2, but we're not talking about part 2 of our confessions, Usher style baby. We're not talking about that. We but one opponent Moses Marquez brought up in your live video there, Miss Nicola McDonald, aka the Demoness. We
mhm.
saw him at Promomania. I want you to talk about the bout two-parter. Thoughts on the Shape versus myself in Promomania, but first and foremost, you versus the Shape. I think that's very intriguing. There's a lot of elements that we can incorporate there.
Yeah, there is a lot of elements there. Again, with that, never say never, but it's something that would be a challenge, a very big challenge for her because there's no denying the Shape is talented, mega talented. So he's kind of up there on a league of his own, if you know what I mean. And the Demoness is like down here, but she needs to. I think she'd have to grow a bit more before she went against someone like the Shape. She needs to grow a bit more, but I could see that happening. But again, never say never. Just like the same with Butcher, I could see that happening as well. But again, never say never. All possibilities.
All right. Now, talk about what you think of his debut against yours truly.
I loved. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched that promo so many times. I sent it to multiple people to make them watch it in my family, so they've all watched it a load. They loved it. It was just, I don't know. It was just out of this world. Totally different. I mean, everything you did was crazy. You know, you're in the shower, and then there's your mum, then all of us, multiple faces, whatever, and then the shape. He's just everything about it. You were hooked. No matter what way you looked at it, you was just hooked to that promo on both sides because there was something going on everywhere. So kind of 1 minute you're watching one, and then yeah, that's what I love about this whole thing is the fact that you can, the story as well, the story as well. And like I said, yeah, I was glued. I had my mum glued. I had my family glued to it. It's a shame I couldn't show my son's teacher it because, you know, they're fans of the whole promo league and unfortunately they're not at school anymore. So it's like, damn. But I think she would have loved it. So I'll send it to her whenever the schools reopen in October or whenever the hell.
I think what's great about our promos is everybody, it's also kind of what everybody's going through. It's kind of like a self therapy, and you get to like release your overall emotions and your overall feelings into the promos. I think that's what's great about everybody. Everybody delivers, everything's something different. Are you going to like everything? No. Are you going to get certain things? No. But I think we all are very different and unique in what we portray and what we overall present. So I think that's what makes the promos, the promo league, and what everything that represents the promo championship about.
Yeah, I agree totally. I mean, with my character, she is very therapeutic to me. If I'm having, like you know, I suffer anxiety and or anxiety. So whenever I'm like, if I've had a lot of stuff going on to do with home, and then I go into her character, it is venting everything out, and it is therapeutic. And I think we are working with a lot of talented people in this whole promo league. There are so many talents; it's unbelievable. Every one of them has their own thing to bring, and that's what I love about it.
Agreed. And I think, again, adding the judges element, adding the votes, I mean, there's a lot of people that can invest their time and energy in it. So I look forward to seeing what we do at Trivia Takeover with yourself against, as of right now, it's a mirror, but that could change within the span of 2 months. We'll close it off with the story about your teacher as well, because I think a lot of people will enjoy that about Ria's teacher. We'll close it out with that. But before we get to that, I got to ask you, one of the other bouts on the show, the Trivia Takeover event is really symbolized and solidifies with the Knowledge Championship. So it started 4 years ago with 2016 with Kenny winning the title, and then myself defeating Kenny, then Kenny defeating me, and then I defeated Kenny back. So we played hot potato. Then the Phoenix wins it, and now we're on to Moses Marquez as the Knowledge Champion. And his opponents right now are the Phoenix, Ella J of a Wrestling Gal podcast, the inaugural not inaugural promo champion, excuse me, the inaugural knowledge champion, Kenny Killa, and former Mr. Iron Bank himself. He won it last year. And one other person to be announced, which I'm going to say it's probably going to be Travis. And the reason why I'm saying that, no, it's not me, because I'm not cashing an Iron Bank yet. So, and I truly mean that. So, thoughts on the Knowledge Championship, and who do you want to see win?
I want to see Ella win because obviously at the minute I'm champ, so it'd be nice. And I think you said this as well to see two females as champ because it's different. Because obviously it's, as you said, it's a bit repetitive when it's male, male, male. So it's going to be. I hope Ella does, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they all do really. So I'm excited. But yeah, Team Ella all the same, all the way.
Me too. I'll be honest with you. Her debut was at Iron Bank, and she beat the Phoenix. It was her and I in the final. So I mean, I was very shocked to see. So we all did our thing, and I love it. And I think here's another thing about her: like she's very all about women empowerment and getting the female perspective, and she does a great work with her podcast, The Wrestling Gal. So it's nice to have her aboard. It's nice to see a lot of people come aboard. And as far as Kenny goes, I mean, Kenny has the ability and the opportunity to become the first three-time knowledge champion. The Phoenix has the ability to become the second time knowledge champion. I mean, having a better run than he did in his first run.
Yep.
Well, another one I can say with Moses Marquez. Here's the thing about him. So if he manages to win at Trivia Takeover, what's interesting is a lot of people don't realize it. So Kenny's inaugural reign with the knowledge title, he held the title for 215 days. So if Moses wins, he has the ability and he has the chance to beat Kenny's record in his first reign.
Really? I didn't know that. That's cool.
So Moses Marquez, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, Moses.
And are you looking forward to, again, I'm stepping out of the judge's position to take on Moses Marquez. It's already a year in the making. We're going to build that over the next few months, but no winner, no loser. Promo challenge, myself and Moses Marquez. Are you excited?
I am excited, yeah, because I know this is meant to happen. This has been something for ages that people wanted to see. So I am really excited. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. And I can't wait because I love what you do, so and I love what he does. So get ready for an explosion, basically.
Pretty much. That's what I'm saying. Moses Marquez, again, bring your A game because, like I said, I'm.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm not the butcher. I'm not Travis. I mean, he could talk about Daddy's home, and you could talk about Travis. Getting those, helping you get those votes. But this is not just the judge you're going against. You are going against the former promo champion, one of the longest promo champions. So you need to get ready, fire up, because it's going to be a hell of a bout. So I'm going to leave
It is.
that. Well, so last thing to close this out before we have you promote your social media, the Demoness is hell of the social media because see what I did there, hell social media.
Yeah, I saw. I saw.
So I mean, I gotta ask you, tell everybody because I know a lot of people in the promo league and a lot of people in the promo game here with what we do love the fact that, and I told a few of them, your teacher has seen your rates teacher has seen the promos. Excuse me. So that's awesome. Just because if we can have that effect on people and just make them smile and evoke emotions, I think that's wonderful. So how did rates teacher find out about this? Go ahead, tell the story.
Right. So I went into Race Parents evening and I walk in and obviously she's talking to me about how Rafe is doing at school or whatever. And I think this is when he first broke his arm as well. So we'd gone in and we was talking and then all of a sudden she turned around and went, "So how's the Demoness?" And I'm like, "What?" And she went, "How's the Demoness?" And I was like, "The Demoness." And I'm sitting there frozen on the spot going, "What have you told her, Rafe?" And then all of a sudden on her computer, she turns round and she's got up all of our promos. She knows my name, your name. She knows Moses, Moni, Robert. She knows Travis. She's naming Chris. She's naming all of us. And I'm sitting there frozen still going, "Oh, no, 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 no. This is not good," kind of thing. Because I was worried because obviously with my promos, I'm doing a bit of scary stuff and he's playing with whatever. So I'm thinking, oh, great, no. But and then I'm looking at Rafe, and Rafe's kind of looking down, like, "Oh no, am I in trouble?" And then she went, "Oh no," she went, "Oh no, I found the website. I'm now voting for like every time it comes up. Obviously, Rafe's in it, I'm in it, and obviously my daughter." So she started voting for all of us. So it went from voting for me to then voting for Mike, Robert, all of us. So she was voting all the time. But obviously, but I was embarrassed by it because I thought, oh no, I can get in trouble because obviously I'm taking my son to a graveyard because she saw all of these. And obviously, I'm thinking, oh no, but she loved it. She's a wrestling fan. So hallelujah, it was all good. It was all good. But yeah, she's been a big voter. But obviously, because the schools are shut down, I can't. I will send her all of them, or Rafe will show her on YouTube when we go back or whatever. But yeah, that was a very funny story. The fact that he told his school and they all started watching our promos as well. So yeah, yeah, that was about it. But Rafe was all apologetic, and I was like, no, don't be apologetic. So she become a fan of Max, and she become a fan of all of our promos. So yeah, nicely done there, Rafe.
Uh,
Basically.
That's a win-win. That's a friggin' hug. That's a pat on the back. That's a high five. That's every friggin' compliment and every term of endearment on Race's part. And I think that's awesome. Spreading the word about Max, spreading the word about RWT, and spreading word about the promos. United, not divided. That's what it's about.
No, exactly. And I was really proud of him. But I didn't know he tells everybody as well. Like we went to the hospital to a hospital appointment and he started telling them about the promo league. He was like, "Oh, my mum's a demon." And I'm looking at him going, "Okay, yep, I am." And then he went, "Are you a demon?" And Rafe went, "Get it right, it's a demoness." And I'm just like looking at him going, "Oh." So Rafe actually advertises all of the promos all the time, even around his friends. If he goes around so at the minute he's advertising promos and Max all the time for everybody. So bless him, he's only 11, but he's a sweetheart, really.
That he is, and like I said, that's what makes me smile. Just because we can evoke emotions again. To reiterate, just put a smile on faces, or just pretty much
Yeah.
scare the shit out of people. To be bluntly with it,
Yeah, I know. That's what I was like, Rafe, when you were saying about mummy, talk about everyone else, but if you're talking about mummy, kind of be careful because obviously, demon. And then they went, and luckily, because his teacher actually watches wrestling, she's like WWE, she's Raw, she's all of the NXT. So, in a way, it was a relief because I thought, oh, she's a wrestling fan, so she gets it. So, ever since, she actually started giving me ideas. She was sending like pieces of paper home with Rafe saying,
you
have you tried
serious?
this? Have you tried? Yeah, no, I'm serious. Yeah. She was sending me notes home saying, have you tried this? Have you tried maybe this kind of picture, or you should go hit. She was really, really getting into like helping me in a way, but I kind of, yeah. So there you go. Fun story about my son telling everyone about Promo League and stuff. But I am proud of him for doing it, really. Kind of thing. I think I was just nervous as a mum side of it, thinking, you're telling your teacher I'm taking you to graveyards, I'm letting you play with fire. But she was like, no, I get it. I've seen promos. I was like, yes. So yeah, she's a lovely lady, that lady. So shout out to Rafe School and teacher for being our supporter.
So I guess before we end this, I got to say, Demoness, Nicola, thank you so
Mhm.
much for your time, as always.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for all the support, everybody that supported and made us champ. We are grateful, and yeah, it means a lot. It really does. I can actually talk now. When I first was told Michael sell you, I couldn't speak properly. I
No.
couldn't even type properly, could I? I was like, no, what?
Well, you have grown a lot, and like I said, I mean, Amir has kind of adopted me as like your mentor, which again, happy to help, and I think all of us are happy to help. That's what's great about the promo league. We're all kind of like a promo family in a way, which is cool. Again, we get to learn off each other and bounce off ideas, brainstorm, if you will. So, again, that's what it's all about—the camaraderie and all the continuity in the promos. So, like I said, it's very fun and it's very appreciative. So, before we close this out, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever they can find you in the depths of hell on the social media. Go ahead.
Right. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm under the Demoness Nicola Mac 853. If you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Nicola MacDonald Dave Smith. And as always, I never get my Instagram one right. So sorry,
It's
Mike. You know what I'm
it's
like. I'm not
it's
that
like
good at it.
it's like Nick2569. If you just type in Nicola McDonald, or if you just go under my name. So if I'll be honest with you, people, if anybody wants to follow Nicola, here's what I'll do. I'll send you the Instagram. If anybody wants to follow you on Instagram, I'll let you know what it is. But it's like Nick with 4 numbers. Here, I'll tell you right now, just because I haven't.
You can. I can't.
Because I fucking can, trying to record a world class fucking podcast with Sam fucking Roberts, you son of a bitch. So let me try to find Nicola's Instagram because I know there's numbers involved with it. But yeah, that's all right. I know you don't usually use Instagram a lot, so hold on. Let me get into the bowels of the. Yeah.
Of hell.
All right. So if you want to follow Nicola on Instagram, it is MacDonald2569. MacDonald2569.
Yep, that's it.
That's it right there. So follow Nicola on Twitter, follow her Facebook, follow Instagram, follow Max Wrestling, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe to RWT on YouTube, join the RWT group, Raw Wrestling Talk on Facebook, join the Max Wrestling group on Facebook, like the Max Wrestling podcast page on Facebook. We're available everywhere on SoundCloud.com. We are available on Cast Bizox. We are available on YouTube. We are available on Stitcher, iHeartRadio, not to be confused with Smart Mark Radio, but iHeartRadio. So we're on a lot of platforms. So enjoy, subscribe, listen, like, do the whole damn thing. So Nicola, do you have any final words to the people?
Um, hmm. Keep doing what you're doing because everyone in this promo league is such a big talent, and I cannot wait to see which one of you little mortals we will be finally going against. So be good. We're watching. We're waiting. Embrace the madness. Embrace the darkness. The black hearts will reign.
The Black Hearts, Robert Davis, Nicola McDonald, everybody dies for the Demoness, the promo champ, Nicola McDonald. My name is Mike Larkin, and stay tuned until the next episode of In the Hot Seat. We'll be back saying goodbye. Yeah.
The shape of madness. Some may say that the madness took hold of Mike Larkin and drove him away. But Mike Larkin gave in to the madness and had to ride away to come back to his senses. I believe Mike Larkin cut the best promo of his life. But I don't take that as a loss. I take that as a victory, because that's exactly what I wanted to achieve. So now, we have an open book, a story waiting to be written, and a new champion to lead the way. The Demoness. If anybody knows about the shadows, it's the Demoness. And so, as the promo league begins, it is my honor and privilege to be the first one to let you know that when this walk down is over, there will be a very special, unique episode of Max Wrestling called Uncaged. And at Uncaged, the Shape challenges the Demoness to an exhibition. No winner, no loser, no championship. Just two forces of nature going head to head. The Shape has spoken.